that Spirit's Refuge. So much of Mbessa's damage is linked to use an ability, then get the auto attack off. So Shen going to be able to move away from that, but also provide a ton of protection.
His impact on the map is something that I think so few supports in the league have been able to match. Labrov has had some strong performances, and we'll see if he can do it today. He's taking a ton of damage.
Chunked out, needs to use the heal, but Kalist can chase him down, and Kalist gets first blood.
Caster not cursed right there.
That work there from Broken Blade. That Q can do a huge amount of damage in the early game. Meanwhile, we see Kalist getting caught a little bit here. Hans Summer looking for the damage as Skumon comes in for the gank. Aqua Prism, magical journey forward. Kalist still no flash, tries to dash away. But the Darkin Blade finds his first victim.
Skumon's on the map to start things off for G2. This was one of the eyes that we had.
The play is to actually just constantly be putting traps behind them in the midst of the fight, in between weaving your auto attacks to then make it more awkward for them to fight. As the ulti gets dropped.
Public execution in here. Broken Blade flashing away from the hero's entrance from Yahoo. He does still have the taunt, tries to trade back onto Kana, goes in with the taunt, but Kana flashes wisely away from it, and the Winds of War will find their first victim of the game. Yahoo on the board.
It didn't look like he had anywhere to go, so Broken Blade tries to make the play, gets the flash from Kana, but gives his life. G2 try to respond with the Dragon. Yike in the area, though.
Yike goes in with Cataclysm, locks himself in. Cat's here as well, could look for the shockwave, a tidal wave to disengage. Yahoo has joined the fight, Tempered Fate flashed by Yike. The Drake was secured by Skumon.
A valiant attempt from Yike. Skumon, though, does secure the smite, learning.
As this wave starts to crash in onto Labrov, does have a ward and Tri-Brush to spot him out.
Kana going in with the Eclipse here onto Broken Blade, who only has a Tiamat and a Giant's Belt. BB needs to get out of here, but no flash on him. Kana has the public execution for the chase, doesn't need it. Kana just autos him to death.
I mean, so far the counter pick is not going the way that G2 want. Kana with a healthy advantage down on the top side as the mid laners fight.
And Caps is able to walk away. Carlin coming out of Kalist. Type the Tsunami as well from the Nami.
Skumon is coming in behind, though. He's wrapped the whole way around.
There's a flank, double Tempered Fate. Skumon in with a World Ender, double flash away from KC. Flag and drag, ace in the hole, the TP as well. A magical journey out, Skumon needs to get there. The trap on Kana stops him from going any further, but public execution just misses.
Trades. We're yet to see Broken Blade's first ulti of the game. He doesn't have a huge amount of armor early on as Yahoo. Oh, flash
forward by Caps to block the Justice Punch. Skumon on the chase as well. The chains won't get the pullback on the Yahoo, who does flash himself. Shockwave still catches him though. And G2 get the kill on the enemy mid just before the Dragon. Yike looks for the flag and drag, can't land it. There's the Stand United. Caps gonna have a partner in crime in the middle of the Cataclysm. Kana diving forward, immediately taunted. A good Tempered Fate on Bucio. Stopped him getting anywhere near the action. As G2 clean up in mid.
I mean, G2, when the chips are down, when you need to make a play, the place you have to look is in the middle lane. Caps.
Towards Caps, but once more, Skumon's reading it.
And the Bob's on his way as well, has the Tempered Fate. Yike, flag and drag out, Skumon with the World Ender, public execution in, but Kana is met by two immediately and has to dash away. A Tempered Fate will lock Kana up. The minion wave now here to tank for a second. Kana tries to flash away, but the slows from Labrov. The Meeps doing their work, the charm and the chimes. In the end, Kana will escape with a TP coming out of Yahoo.
Caps' Shockwave found nothing, which actually let Kana get away. Bucio thinks he can make the play happen, though.
Tidal Wave splits the upright, and Labrov has a magical journey. He's caught in the middle of it, but it still can take it a second time. No chase coming from the rest of KC. Much there. Yike just sitting on the Wolves right now. Kalist is there as well. Skumon might look. Kalist gonna face check again! Kalist is gonna face check again! The Tempered Fate coming out the X and hole will be blocked by Yike, and Kalist is able to get out. Cost him his barrier, but this time he survives.
He was not expecting to see any
damage than anything from G2. KCR pushing through mid, but Kalist needs to go back to base.
Yeah, who's very tanky on the side lane, which means it's going to take a while to get through him, and he can clear these waves very effectively.
So TP down coming behind as Broken Blade looks for the taunt. Caps is here. Command protects Shockwave, and Kana a Shockwave through his brain as he didn't expect to be ganked by Caps. Does have the flash, but does he have a way to get out of this situation? A little bit of outgo gaming, perhaps. Take a small break, BB and Caps that will collapse. And Kana, even with the shields, shouldn't be able to get away. Kana dies, Caps gets the kill, and there's the TP.
Who now has his teleport available. He'd love to get that level 16. Oh!
Caps chunked out massively. The culling does connect, and Caps is low XP, has to flash away from public execution. Yike trying to get on towards the backline's tidal wave, forces Caps up towards the top side. Yike goes in with a cataclysm, a temper bait, will stop time for a second hero's entrance as well. A double taunt, is it enough to take down Skew? It doesn't seem to be. Skewmon survives through it with the help of a stand united from his brother BB, who's caught out with the Aqua Prism, and Bucio eventually finds a kill for KC.
Kalist sets up that play for KC. This is what you need to be doing on Illusion. Prior to the fight even starting, find that chunk onto any member really, but he finds it onto...
Now, Lebrov did a good job as well with the Tempered Fate, catching onto Kalist, stopping the initial burst of damage, but this is what can happen. Tempered Fate goes wide, the culling lands, and now Lebrov is forced away. Hunsama trying to escape, Yike will fall for it. Yahoo here with the TP in from BB, no stand united for him. The taunt's gonna land on 2, Skewmon dead, double tidal wave as well for the knockup, and Skewmon needs to get out. Wild Ender pop, Kana flashes away from the infernal chains. And in the end, a 1-for-1 is all she wrote.
KC needed to try and take that fight because
these Caitlyn traps are doing some serious work. KC, I think they're going to have to abandon this, but they're TPing in.
Yeah, who's TPing towards the bottom side. Kana looking for that public execution. Yike looking to get in with the cataclysm. Goes in, public execution on the backline, but it's only on the Lebrov. Hero's entrance as well to separate the team. Caps goes on a rampage as Bucio and Kalista caught. Skewmon dashing across the wall here to chase out the Nami. Caps with a stopwatch in the pit as the rest of G2 try to come to his aid, but can't get there quickly enough. It doesn't matter. They'll sacrifice Caps for the rest of KC. Yike, that guardian angel is more like a devil on your shoulder as G2 wipe away Karmine Corp.
Skewmon and Caps find the combo onto the backline. The flash from Skewmon set up for the shockwave, and it's reminiscent of what we saw at the World Championship last year. Beautiful play from the duo, beautiful team fight from G2, and while they lose the Dragon, they'll secure the first Baron of this final.
3 dragons to KC.
Map as well. Currently pathing down towards it. Caps trying to clear the wave in time. The shockwave to pull back Kalist. The culling coming out. Caps may have sacrificed himself for this again. Has the Zhonya's, has the stand united, has the shielding. And the tower remains. Inhibitor towards the top side is G2. Look for the Tempered Fate, but can't quite land it. Caps now going to TP into the fight. This is only Kana here to defend. Yahoo there to try and bolster them up. But G2 may have pulled the rope, but don't. Caps gets a kill onto Yike. It was BB who TP'd and KC who fell. Kalist here, but all he can do is stand and watch. He's haunted by BB. The top father is here to make sons of KC. Game 1 goes to G2.
The map play from G2 was unbeatable for KC. Constantly putting pressure, constantly keeping the vulnerable members alive. What a showing in Game 1.
For me, it just felt like that when Caps needed to deliver, he did just that. That AD carry was getting so scary, but at the end of the day, they were able to shut down Kalist. The Lucian lose streak continues, and Caps holds on to his undefeated record.
Incredible stuff all round.
For these extended trades where she can build up her passive, then use that Q damage and try and extend the trade that way. But for Yasuo, he can get in, use that wave, Q very quickly. And just
really well. Had the wave crashing into G2 as well. Mystic Shot going between the uprights there as Yike looks for Caps, who's been chunked out. Skewmon here as well. Be a 2v2 in mid. Seismic Shove missing. The Rune Prison coming down as Caps going to try and get out, but the core of the pack is too damn much. Yahoo with first blood in Game 2.
Yahoo
for those plays towards bot side, a 4-man committal towards that side, maybe even threaten a dive towards the top side with a cross-map arrow. A lot of potential plays as a nice stun comes through on Yahoo.
There's the Weaver's wall out from Caps to try and keep Yahoo on this side of it. Cleaver out of Skewmon, Rune Prison overload, not enough from Yahoo. He flashes forward, oh! The minions! The pot, the refillable potion saving Caps' life.
Yahoo decides, some couple nice side sets from Kana to avoid the knockups from the tornadoes, but Broken Blade really starting to come into his own here in the 1v1.
Kana's going to skip and slash forward. There's the way of the Wanderer's shield you were talking about, Vedi. Kind of building up the 1,000 cuts with the Realm Warp in. Broken Blade needs to get out, has Skewmon. Last breath perhaps for Yahoo, no flash on the wind wall! Skewmon waiting in the wings! Secures a kill for G2.
Just look at the items and go, I think we can find it. Like, you have nowhere near a first item for Yahoo. Rod of Age is not really going to be a big one. Hang on.
Onto Gwen here, kind of with the needlework though. There's the wind wall. Broken Blade still looking for the chase. Has that Q3 with the Steel Tempest. Now needs to get the hell out of there because Yike is on his way. A Hound's pursuit in. Broken Blade dashes forward, but the Hounds are hungry and Yike will help Kana secure the kill.
Good collapse from Yike on towards that top side. Cap
He's
trying
got
to
another
respond.
Hound's pursuit. He can just chase onto Caps, but the seismic shove interrupts it. Caps here in time to hold the wave, at least perhaps chase down Kana. Remember, no flash on this Gwen, and no way really for Yike to join him. A threaded volley goes wide. The alcove, though, not your friend anymore, Kana. Unraveled Earth unravels his life as Bucio's caught with Enchanted Crystal Out, has to flash the cleaver. Does not connect as Skewmon steals away this jungle.
They can continue to put the strain on.
The thing we're seeing in this game that I think, ooh, hang on a minute, Yike has got to back
to use
away.
the Hound's pursuit. Does he have Eviscerate? Can he get over this wall? He can. He jumps across, was stunned on the way, but unable to really be chased too much more. Lebrov caught out now, needs to flash. The Realm Warp on the wrong side, but Yahoo! Oh, another overload goes wide. Skewmon kills off Yike as he chased deep into the jungle. As my two co-casters become Yahoo fans, it seems. The Wolf. Meanwhile, Yahoo's pushing through bot. Gonna get some... As Skewmon is looking for Yike, who's caught out. Yike doesn't really have anywhere to go here. Jumps up with the core of the pack, flashes, eviscerates. Now Bucio's on the wrong side of dodge. He has to flash too. And G2 forced 2 flashes out from Casey, just being a little greedy with their positioning.
Well, so your engage isn't the most reliable, so a lot of fights happen in skirmishes content. Oh, hang on, Kana.
Q3 was just used by Broken Blade. Yike is on his way across as well. Skewmon's running up here as quick as he can. The flash knock up onto Yike. He has to dash up, and Skewmon secures the kill. The dogs are dead. Will Kana follow? I believe he will. Hunt Summer on the chase. Kana no way out. G2 take 2 on the top side.
The long-range arrow strikes through.
You just keep it on tenterhooks.
G2 constantly are trying to collapse on mid, which is giving Kana a bit of time on this top side.
Who wins? Who wins? Ignite going down. Okay, PB wins the initial trade at least. The needle works. The Weaver's wall as they look to collapse onto Kana, and they use the knockup to give Kana his last breath. G2 collapse, and they're going to look for a little bit more as Skewmon's chasing out Kalista.
From Caps, I was not expecting the ultimate of Talia to be the setup. Kalista's going to throw his ulti down, it'll connect on the Broken Blade, but I see no way that they can contest this.
Yahoo's going to walk in. Rise can do a lot of damage in situations like this. Hansama was caught. Yahoo continues to stand and deliver. A turret with an encore over him, but the Mikhail's able to get him out of that CC. Skewmon healing up in the middle of it all as Hansama a little bit isolated. KC still looking for that collapse. There's a flash. There's a ruined prison. There's an overload. It's not enough. Yahoo dodges the cycling shove in the middle of it all, but Skewmon, it's just too tanky for KC. There's nothing they can do to get through Skew.
There's Skew.
You get there in time. G2 will take the tier 2 down towards this bottom lane. Will even out the turret score. Yahoo is pushing through top, trying to get that third item, searching for it. Yike looking for a flank onto Caps. Here will be spotted again. KC a little bit divided, and G2 are dividing their towers and their inhibitors from life. There's a schism in the base, and KC do not react, they just give up the inhib.
Monster in the jungle of Skewmon as he goes where he pleases and looks to secure another tower.
Kana showing on the bot wave here without teleport means that G2 will be able to push in this tier 2 in top. Caps is looking for the tier 2 in mid as well. Gold lead extends to 7k. They will back away. They'll defend against Kana. The base will not fall on this Baron push.
G2 are separated though, 2 members now. G2 on the top side is the rest have gone back to base.
Beat drop from Lebrov, dodged by Yike. Skewmon needs to get out of here. Can pop that maximum dosage in a minute, but will it be enough to help him escape? Does still have the flash. There's the dosage. Weaver's wall TP. G2 are beginning to collapse, and there's the seismic shove. Who's locked in here with whom? KC. G2 find one Kalist, trying to do the damage with the mystic shots are more mythological than actually working. Nothing is going to get through Skewmon as G2 collapse, and just as I said, it wasn't over. G2 said that's enough. Side, Caps backing away, realizing, hey, we don't see any of them. No need to give my life away for cheap. The minds of KC than anything else. 3 items though on Yahoo. 4 on Caps. A 2.3k gold lead as the Weaver's Wall comes out to lock Yike in the cage. Seismic shot doesn't connect, but Yike doesn't really have anywhere to go. We'll go out with the Eviscerate. Encore's going to land onto Busio, but only him. He flashes out. Kana and Yehu trying to collapse. Do they have the damage on Caps? The answer's no for now. It's Kana. It's just run down by G2. Yehu caught up as well. He'll dive onto Caps. He gets a K in his pocket, but G2 are looking for 4.
Oh my God,
another. And Skewmon just whacks them over the heads with a briefcase. It's business time for G2 as KC are left in the dust.
Kalist just disappeared. He just got one shot by the Mundo. G2, what the hell was that?
Skewmon ends the fight with a triple skill. Skewmon says that enough is enough. It's time to clock out. And G2 are looking to go 2-0 up in this best of 5.
Yehu can do all he wants to try and defend, but a stopwatch will not be enough for him. He almost takes that one, but even Lebrov remains standing. G2, in dominant fashion, will be 1 game away from LEC versus champions.
It was a pretty slow game to start, but the skirmishes, the scraps, the little fights that were happening all over the map just kept going G2's way. And when push came to shove, a single pick converted into a Baron, and from that point on, G2 just didn't let the game go. His career, Rel is something like, I think it's his most played in his career, but there was a split on BDS where he had something like 17 Rel games. The likelihood of a dive seems low. But okay,
but
no.
Never zero, Vedi.
Yike is thinking about it, and they
It's
read it as well.
Nautilus loves to dive. Root lands on Hans. Summer has the barrier, has the flash, crash down onto Busio. He hooks himself away. Yike stunned up with a shadowing strike. Skewmon on his way across, and now KC on the wrong side of the tower. Aegis assault from Skewmon lands onto 3. Look at the blinking health bars on KC. 1 falls, a second follows suit. The dive goes pear-shaped, and G2 take 2.
Skewmon forever in the
Of course, internationally, there have been some questions around his performance, but ultimately, he's a very solid jungler. But Skewmon has come into his own as Busio goes for another trade against Lebrov. The back and forth between these bot laners is consistent. Caps now very low.
Dash in from Yehu with the Spirit Rush. Skewmon on his way across, has the flash. Will get the shield vault in as well. Yehu flashed away well, but Caps is on the chase. The stolen Spirit Rush. Enough for G2 to get their 3rd. Yike looking for the dash in here. Caps absconds away, won't take the fray.
KC, the wind from their sails that was riding high from the first 2 days of this 3-day weekend seems to have all but vanished. As KC, they haven't given up just yet. The fight against the
hasn't been spotted. You have a Grand Starfall. He just hit 6. Skewmon with those 2 early kills and the assist has his ultimate quicker than usual. And with Hans waiting in the alcove, KC are pounced on. G2 find their prey, and Busio will not live to see another day.
Skewmon just died.
Like, they get Lebrov, they think they've interrupted the reset, but it's all the mind games. And it's Hans Sam as he comes out, they realize they're too far, but now Yike might be caught.
There's 4
Yike goes in with the Cyclone. Busio there as well. The equalizer down the charm as well. They'll find it. Skewmon killed off by Yehu, gets the shutdown. A 600 gold lead for him as well.
A much
Going to
needed.
be able to start up the Drake. Skewmon still looking towards top, hovering. Can bring the stars down. Call to the Forge God. Flash immediately from Carter. He's gone to the danger zone, but it's a highway for hell, it seems, as Skewmon finds another.
This is what Dagda was talking about in the draft. It's such easy setup with the Ornn and the Pantheon. Lebrov is now hovering around mid as Cap steals the ult.
Yike is on his way. Yike's on his way. He's running in immediately. Spear rush forward. They have to kill Yehu quickly, but Cap's able to dash away. There's the Cyclone. KC find 1 in response.
It's something back for KC on the midway.
He's clearing through his camps. I expect him to grab the grubs if he sees an opportunity. G2 not going to be upset about getting the first dragon of the game.
Yike's been doing a good job of farming, while it's much ado about nothing here.
I mean, taking that grub just announces exactly where Skewmon is, so I think KC immediately pull off the play, knowing that Grand Starfall
going in with the Cyclone, looking at Skewmon here. Death charge going down as Caps answers with one of his own, but now they'll dive back in with a second cast of the Cyclone, and Yike takes the kill. Lebrov under the tower low. But KC get another on the board.
I mean, if you want to go back to getting 3 XP, you can see he's about to tick over to level 11.
Starfall in, they look for Yike. He's going to try and get out. Call of the Forge God down as well. The equalizer means the Broken Blade can't get any closer, but the Call of the Forge God will still find his man. Kana, though, just burned BB alive.
BB gave his life for nothing. They try to make the pick on towards Yike, but that's Grand Starfall down and Broken Blade's ult with Dragon up.
Now 2K ahead in this game 3. A game they must win if they are going to continue on in this
cooldown. So it means that you'll have a timer where Caps has his TP up and available before you actually have it back up on Kana. But now Kana in trouble.
Grand Starfall is the play here. You can see Skewmon coming in. Death Charge stolen away by Caps. They'll dive onto the Rumble. And he immediately gets evaporated underneath the tower. Dredgeline's going to hit on Skewmon, but he's not tanking it yet. The charm goes in. He tries to shield ball forward. Yahoo gets another Spirit Rush charge. Can they go any further? You can see Kalisz trying to move, get in position for the curtain call. Another charm goes in. The shield from the crash down. The curtains are open. Not even needed. Close the door on Labrov. As G2
topside though
lost 2. Meanwhile on the top side, BB getting chased out by Yike. On the bottom side, Caps dives in, gets 1 but dies for it. KC winning across the map.
Yahoo is having so much
Lucio, Hex Flash on Hans Summer. Death Charge first, Valkyrie flash across the wall. Yahoo can spear rush forward. The charm eaten by Labrov, but the root's still connecting. And with an equalizer on top of it, G2's bot lane doesn't really have anywhere to go. The chase continues for KC as they claim their second of the fight.
Yike uses the increased range on the auto attack from his Q to pop the blast cone before Labrov can get to safety. And that means with 2 down, KC can get the Baron.
KC have fought their way back beautifully. Dagda, you said it earlier, this game felt like it was done and dusted. But Yike and Bucio found repeated picks in the mid lane. They found kills onto Skewmon, they found kills onto Caps. They may well have found another one.
Caps here, a couple of harpoons. Kana flashes forward, he can't keep the blast going because there's a rumble on top of it. The Baron now for KC. They are truly immediately back away from it. Hans Summer will be spotted out by Yike. Equalizer stolen away by Caps, but not as well placed. Grand Starfall coming in, the curtains open. Kana looking for the damage now onto Caps, who has to flash away. The curtain call just short of clicking with a 3rd shot. Death Charge on Hans Summer. He Valkyries out, but Skewmon's knocked up forward. The Sundered Sky not enough to heal him up. Labrov being burnt to a crisp underneath the tower, but a good Shattering Strike means the Kana will go down. Hans Summer gets the shutdown, a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of G2.
Well, hang on now. That is KC overextended a little too much.
He had a Broken Blade here.
Yike a level ahead of Caps, as is Yahoo. Skewmon's going to jump onto Yike, who uses the decoy. Caps looking for the chase. Spirit Rush exchanged. With the TP coming in from BB, Labrov is caught up with the Dredgeline. Shield Vault in from Skewmon. Labrov could look for the Magnastorm. Yahoo still holding on to one part of that Spirit Rush. Decoy out from Yike as Caps doesn't land the chains, but still continues for the chase. Yike forced down to half HP. Caps able to dodge away in time to not get caught up with the deadly flourish. Labrov at half himself. He's forced away, Call to the Forge God, lands on Kalisz, but with an equalizer, G2 can't step forward. A flash Cyclone onto Skewmon. The Guardian Angel will bring him back, but the charm locks him up. Magnastorm in, Caps trying to get in as well. Kana kills Broken Blade, KC have 5, G2 only have 3, and not for much longer. Skewmon will find 1, but there's a Quadra for the Jin. SKC are not done with this series yet.
KC are not going to waste any time off the back of that fight. They have set their sights on the Nexus, they've set their sights on another game, and they want to show that they are not done just yet.
It was hard fought for KC. They battled back from a deficit, but they will not be denied at least a 4th game in Barcelona.
KC trying to build that blue wall brick by brick. The first in place, the foundation set. Will we see them get the reverse sweep? They still have 1 more game to go before we get to Silver Scrapes.
KC fought back valiantly. I love the plays that they made around mid. Bucio and Yike were instrumental in helping this team come back, and they trusted Yahoo with the resources, and it was him that delivered when it mattered most.
Really was. Great performance all around by KC for G2. Something you got to wipe off.
I think that it's going to be Bucio that has more roaming power on the Rakan, which we've seen is just like the winning formula.
Smite here.
Look at BB though, he's roaming down towards mid lane. They want to try and fight this as a group.
Skewmon able to get a few of the Razor Beaks there. 6 to 15, Yahoo stepping forward, Caps looking for the scatter, we can't land it, Yahoo's now burned his flash, and BB's on the way across. The Victor has nowhere to go. And G2 strike first, Cleanse coming out from Kalisz's. Hans Summer is exhausted. 2 summoners burned for none.
To really challenge this, and Yike desperately needs camps. He's behind in XP, he's behind in gold, he's just behind in general, and he's got to get what he can get while his camps are available. Overall, from the KC bottom lane, Busio.
He's a long way away from friends. Quickness has to be used. Often you think on Rakan, you can do these sorts of plays. You have so much mobility. But when you jump in, immediately low as well. Dominus up in 6. Kana only half on his Mega Knight. Yike coming across. Caps will be met by Yike, who holds the Vault Breaker, but Forza will flash, cease and desist. Broken Blade's gonna look to see if he can just delete Yike, and he can! Yike thought he had it. Yahoo's on his way across, Kana building up the Mega Gnar. Skewmon trying to get here in time. The Gnar into the wall, the wind becomes lightning, and Kana has to flash away, but Skewmon chases him for days. A flash away from Yahoo. Wind becomes lightning, hits again. Featherstorm out. Blade Caller not used yet by Kalist. In the end,
he's able to ghost away thanks to the spellbook. But KC, they hand another 2 kills over to G2. Oh!
Flash quickness immediately engage here with the barrier, though Hansama still very safe. Kalist has flash of his own and has to use it to get away from Lavrov. The TP coming in from Caps. As G2,
but G2 slowly but surely are building up a lead. The KC are struggling to stop.
Oh, Lavrov caught out here though by Yike. With the gravity field down, Lavrov just doesn't get a chance to move. Down on Zakana.
Again, though, we're seeing this kind of fallback plan from KC, though. When things get dire, just try and play around Yahoo. I mean, in the Victor, he can definitely be a carry. But now, can they cover top?
BB with the dominance. Yike clearing out the Krugs. BB dodging away with the slice and dice, but Yike's still on the chase. No flash for him. BB trying to get onto Kana. Can't really get close enough. Hit by the wallet, followed by the Vault Breaker. The slice, the dice, BB!
The early jungle lead that Skewmon was able to build, and now they're just kind of dancing around and punishing every play that KC tried to make. KC, they need to...
Crab. Yike has snuck behind him. Kana's on the way across as well. Skewmon, Smite comes out, he gets the scuttle. Kana trying to get across here. Yike already knocked up and he doesn't win the trade. He's 2 levels down. Skewmon's blocking the Vault Breaker and Yike has to burn the flash. Skewmon follows with the flash of his own. BB punching down onto Kana too. He's forced away. Yike down. Kana almost follows suit.
Jungle versus jungle, top versus top. G2 get the best as the ult in response and walk away. Now the threat of a dive in bot lane is very real.
Yahoo uses the Arcane Storm to try and clear the wave, but G2 do not need the minions to dive.
It feels like G2 looked at 2025 and said, you know what, not winning everything just isn't good enough. Coming into LEC versus, this is a statement, and they want more.
KC are being corralled. G2 are hunting, and it's Caps at the forefront. Vault Breaker from Yike diving towards Caps. The hostile takeover doesn't click Busio. He's separated from his team, but he can battle dance away. In the end, the TP just leads to KC scattering.
Yeah, the TP...
Okay, spot with 2 items completed. The upgraded Merc threads as well means that he'll be relatively good against Caps as all in.
Busio, exhaust on Hansama. Okay, just forces the ultimate out of Hansama and then battle dances his way away. Wind becomes lightning, does not connect.
Long period of time. When you look at Broken Blade, Caps, and Hansama, they have played over 1,100 days together. That synergy means something, but Lavrov has to flash.
Flashes away. Busio looks for the engage. Yike there for the follow-up, and that is Hansama down. Broken Blade joins the fight. Busio tries to dance away and manages to do so. The Gnar gets 2. Crescent Guard out from G2, and they're the ones flashing away. They're the ones retreating. Broken Blade dices. And KC have sliced through the AD carry. Is it now a Baron play? Caps still has ult.
A single moment was all it took. KC found a pick on the Hans, and now they've set their sights on the Baron. G2 are TPing back in.
BB has the TP and his ultimate. The Baron down to 7,000. KC, 1 roll of the dice. Is it Snake Eyes? Is it double sixes? Yike in there, goes in with the Vault Breaker. Broken Blade trying to force him out. He's gone. Yike no longer in the pit. Broken Blade with the bailout. Skewmon takes it. He unleashed power to Yike. Puts him in the dirt as Caps chases Busio out, even flashing for the kill on the Rakan. The Baron to G2 will sit on Hansama and Lavrov. Caps will fall to Yahoo, who will be able to chase him out, but 2 Barons to G2 in a fight they just shouldn't have won.
They shouldn't have, but they all die. Apart from
Make a difficult decision. Do I stay in the pit or do I get out? Skewmon takes the Hex Gate and uses it to get into the pit. We're back to live already.
This will be the last Baron buff for G2 and he doesn't have Flash. Burns it before the previous play. The win becomes Lightning. Busio looking for the follow-up. KC continue to fight.
how the hell are KC finding these plays? One game was enough, but another game in game.
Would this be the accelerator? Kana's trapped.
Jumps across, Skewmon goes in, kind of building up towards that Mega Nas, gets the stun on Skewmon, Yike coming in for a follow-up play, Kana still pretty healthy, he's going to flash away from Hunsummer to the Crescent Guard, keeping Skewmon safe for now. Hunsummer flashes forward, and Casey begin to disengage. The Scatter the Weak from Caps does not find its mark. The G2 have managed to establish here in the river, now they'll step forward.
And that's what KC are doing a great job of, playing around that vision. Yike only just being spotted, Busio's hiding bottom, Busio dodges away with the grand entrance.
Yahoo trying to push forward here more. Skewmon there, the TP behind by Broken Blade. Yike misses the Vault Breaker, lands the snipe, but now Broken Blade on the TP, looking for Kalist, and now dive into him. Double GA available. Kalist dies to Hunsummer. Yike trying to get onto Caps. Broken Blade slicing across. The Gnar from Kana. Hostile takeover. Caps brought back with the bailout, but the unleashed power not enough for him. Meanwhile, on the top side, Kana has a GA of his own. Skewmon trying to survive through it all. The GA on Kana is propped. So is the one on Beanie. Skewmon dives back in and kills off Busio. A 2v3 now. Broken Blade goes in with a stride breaker. Yahoo slowed, stunned up, locked up, taken out. But in the end, still, KC win the fight 4-3.
KC threw everything that they had! And
Secured, but what a back and forth. Junglers, top laners, supports doing everything they can to keep their teams alive.
Get back to base, and the G2 will start up the Baron.
Absolutely.
And Kalist can't do it.
Absolutely.
Has to stay around, has the red buff. Not enough healing from it. The knock-up onto Hunsummer is there in that Baron pit. Yahoo's still in the mid lane, now working across. Kana doesn't have the Mega, and G2 immediately turn onto him. Hostile takeover only going to land onto Yahoo. Bo5 doesn't find his man with it. Baron resets, G2 back away. What did they get? The Arcane Storm in exchange for the Transcend oneself and the hostile takeover. Kana still looking for the flank.
The red buff has healed up Kalist. Kana in front of him.
Kana! The quickness! It's KC all the time as Busio dives onto the backline. It's beautiful for the Karmine Corp as they wipe away G2. Skewmon left standing, but not for long. This arena is blue. Skewmon, though, begins to turn it around. The ball breaker in. He dies. KC now make a beeline for the mid lane, and with 4 still alive, this should be the Nexus.
At the start of this game, it looked like KC would take silver, but by the end, we are going to silver scrapes.
One more for KC. They've done the unthinkable. They won from impossible positions. One more now needed for KC.
What a comeback game for KC. In game 3, they were behind and fought back. But in game 4, what a monstrous turnaround performance. KC bring us to game 5. Analysts, take it away.
I can't believe what's happening here. Oh my God, what is going on in this final here in Barcelona? 2 games ago, KC were dead.
Ways for G2 to get in, I think, are going to be kind of difficult. Like, I really like that KC have kind of got this big zone control themselves against, on the opposite side, and absolutely destroyed Kana thanks to an early gank from Skewmon. Not going to be the case in this game, but certainly Broken Blade, okay, wanted to find answers on this Kled into Sion, and now he trusts it in a game 5.
All right, well, Cap's gonna take full advantage of his pult up. The Kai'Sa plus Nico. Oh, hang on a minute.
BB. Decimating smash coming out. Yike's almost there. BB flashes. Bear trap on the road. Will get the pullback, but BB dismounts before it can. Yike now trying to trade back onto Broken Blade, but the violent tendencies means he will remount. Forces Yike away. Kana had to burn the flash. It was exchanged on the bottom lane. LeBron burnt flash and heal for just Busio's heal. Gets the root though. Hunsummer on the chase with the Void Seeker. First blood to the Nico.
The top lane dive though.
Ishal's impact lands onto Kana. No escape for him underneath the tower. He will fall, and he can't get to the wave that quickly to really use the zombie passive.
We've been watching scraps happen.
Provide a bit of support to Kalist and Busio. I think that can be something. Skewmon having control, and this level 6 about to tick over. I don't think KC can fight this.
If Skewmon gets this fight, Yike goes in for it. Gets the smite on the Scuttle Crab, gets the 6. Between worlds they go as Skewmon has to flash away. Yike will fall first, but now Han Summer's caught in the pit, and KC collapsed on him, and the final auto of Boomerang finds its mark and returns the gold to Kalist. A 1-for-1 in the end, the exchange.
Well, with the jungler going down, there is no hope of getting the dragon. It will just be the push, but Busio still fishing mid. Labrov should be able to escape away with this. But now, like, look, Kalist, solo boss.
Tangle Barbs, Busio locked up in the Glacial Storm. Busio's down! How now, Brown Cow? Taken out by Caps.
Push another wave. Might look for a cheeky recall as well. Maybe look to pick up that blasting one to give him a little bit more damage in the 1 versus 1.
Ooh, Broken Blade looking at Yike here. 3 grubs already completed. Yike can look for the chase. Estimating smash. Pocket pistol gets him just out of range. Nature's Grass though there for the follow-up, and Broken Blade can't get back on Skull. A Bramble smash puts
in the armor. Not really too much to show from KC, but they already kind of said it. Caps opening up, but oh no!
Back by Busio. Flash pulverized for the follow-up. Skewmon coming in, looking for the Impale. Lands it on 2! And he'll pull Busio back. Kalist uses the barrier. Busio almost falling. Han Summer not going to flash for it, but they fall anyway. Skewmon's passive getting the kill on the cow. Kalist goes down 2.
The idea was to punish the flank from the Brawl.
Just get some turret plates though and continue to open up this lead for Hansama.
Unstoppable onslaught. Skewmon's going to get in the way of it. Becomes a relatively stoppable onslaught. The Pop Blossom there for the follow-up. Still no flash here for Kano as he's pulled back with the Impale. The flash a couple of seconds away, but a couple of seconds might as well be an absolute age. G2 find another as Han Summer will take some plates as well.
A nice gank setup.
They're getting. As Yahoo is looking for Caps, goes in between worlds, still has the egg. Busio there with the knock-up. Headbutt first, alongside the pulverize. LeBron trying to trade it. The TP was cancelled in the top side by BB, and now Busio has overstepped a little. Pop Blossom in, Busio tries to dodge it. Uses the unbreakable will, but that is damn well broken. G2 find another.
Every is trying to cross map on the other side, but now Yahoo isolated on the bot side of the map. Skewmon cutting off his escape. The bot wave is being pushed. He's trying to TP out.
He's trying to TP out. You can't do that in front of a Tangle Barbs. Goes across the veil, invisible underneath the tower. Puts the damage back onto Skewmon, but with Han Summer on his way as well, G2 will just clean up the kill.
Yahoo tried his hardest to escape away, but all he ends up giving is an assist across to Han Sama. Riptar will be taking the interrupt on Skewmon, but can you really get much more?
Busio maybe thinking he can stop Caps from getting the push in here, but if it was a bit greedy, maybe just trying to distract because they're going to try and dive BB in that top lane. Nature's Grasp out on Unstoppable Onslaught as well for the CC. He remounts on the Skull, and now the dive becomes a little bit more precarious. BB with the pocket pistol, still Yike able to secure the kill, and the TP coming out from Campus after he reset just to hold this lane. The tower in the bot side will be picked up in 90 seconds time for either team. Whoever is able to claim it. Busio here. Well, that's a bear trap on a rope, but it's cow trap it seems. Lands a knockback onto Broken Blade. He'll charge away towards the top side, but dismounted now. Flashes in, is met by an axe from Kana. And just as I said, Busio wasn't having the best of times. He finds Broken Blade, who remounts again. Skull not so cowardly now. In the end, they'll find him, they'll chase him down for the CC, and Yike goes on a killing spree. Meanwhile, Busio again finds a knock-up, here this time onto Labrov, who's stunned up, will shape splitter his way away. And KC won't take any more of that fight.
You just talking about Busio having a bit of a nightmare. That looked like a nightmare for Broken Blade. Everywhere he ran to was members of KC. And while they only get the 1 kill and it took a while, they still get to hold on to everything.
Is it just a Baron play? Nope, there's a control ward in there. TP yes. Immediately, it seems like it is. Kana has teleport, he's down towards the bottom side. Yike spotted around his blue buff, and Broken Blade's going to try and keep him at bay. Yike trying to get in there, pulled back with the bear trap on the rope. Kana TPing in now, Busio there as well. The Shape Splitter spotted Yahoo, but the Baron already secured. G2 sneak it away. KC unable to find anything, and Unstoppable Onslaught out from Kana. The charge from Broken Blade.
Baron to push onto these towers, and you can't just wait around. With this kind of gold, you've got to push the issue, and they did just that. KC holding the defense.
Yike looking for the Nature's Grasp. Busio goes in onto Caps. The Impale Not going to connect too much as Busio still tanky enough. Skewmon falls first. Yahoo gets him. Summer's next up. That goes to Kalist. And now Caps, you got an egg, but you're likely to be scrambled pretty sharpish because Yike is on the flank. The Samurai Siege was broken against the blue wall of KC. There's an egg. Crack it in twain. KC finds 3.
It cannot be happening again! Dragon number 3 potentially here for G2, but KC want to try and stop it.
Caps' lead has shrunk. And KC now stepping forward. Nature's Grass, Skewmon tanks it up, so does BB. Hansama looking to get in towards the front line. LeBron goes in, Hansama dives onto Yike. There's the Pop Blossom, it finds 3! Hansama trying to get across the decimating smash. Kalist goes down, Hansama gets a double. Hansama will fall for it, as will LeBron, not quite. The Ishtal's impact locks Yahoo against the wall, and Yikes, Busio tries to get in. He can't! G2 fight back again! Only Kana's left alive now!
This time round, G2 will not let KC get away with it. Worked on, but it's still ways away.
This is where Yike comes in handy. You can check all these brushes with the saplings and make sure they're trying to go through, but Yike's
There's a crystallized flash frost. You can check the bush, but you can't check the Razor being picked. A charge in from Broken Blade as G2 are trying to close out the game right here, right now. The bear trap on the rope will pull back the Aurora, but she manages to escape. Kana TP'd in, was caught up in the Pop Blossom, but he just walks out too. Jungler down though for KC.
Pick from G2. Caps punishing his former jungler, and it will result in the Baron once more for G2.
Yahoo pushing out the top wave, TP coming behind. G2 want to collapse. They know KC expect them to be on the bottom side. Yahoo with the weirding, dodging back. Ishtal's impact going wide, but there's the Flash Frost, and that is a very dead Aurora. G2 find 1 on the top side. KC were only playing around.
There's the pings.
G2 playing through 2 lanes, have another Baron buff up minion wave here. Yike still looking for the Nature's Grasp. Caps moving across, Kana going forward, Skewmon locked up, Nature's Grasp doesn't hit onto anyone, and Broken Blade is diving the backline. Kalist has to use the barrier. Manages to escape for now. G2 didn't take the top inhib tower, but did take the mid. Infernal Soul, their next objective.
G2 want to go foraging first though, see if they can find Yike. He's running for the hills, but G2 are able to move through walls.
Yike has the flash. It does impact. Killer Instinct forward. The Impale immediately. And Yike has no way to escape. Timber goes the tree. And perhaps with their sights on first stand. It's KC who took that spot last year. And G2 will have their vengeance. There's the crystallized. Busio has to use the unbreakable will and still almost dies. Nature's Grass coming out. Busio will survive the grasp. They line up. TP behind. Unstoppable Onslaught is going to land, but only onto Skewmon. Between worlds we go. As KC, one final roll of the dice. Broken Blade though diving through them. Still survives. G2.
He hasn't engaged yet. He's actually going to back away from that flank. The damage on the Yike is good.
He uses the stopwatch, but he can't get over the wall, has to use his flash. Flash in from Kana with the Unstoppable Onslaught. Nature's Grass coming out as well. Hansama blocked up there by Skewmon to counter crystallize. Good knockback on the Pop Blossom, but Kalist has to flash himself. TP coming in from Broken Blade. Busio trying to get in the middle of 3. Hansama dives in, there's the GA. An Angel perhaps, as Hansama will fall. Kalist is back up. KC are holding on. KC are holding on. Kalist survives. G2 all die. Now it's all on Caps. He has the egg, he flashes away from the 2-fold Hex and still finds 1. Skewmon manages to escape towards the top side of the fight. A 3-for-3 summon.
A GA significantly longer than Azanya's Hourglass. G2 looking to make the same thing happen again.
Busio force low, crystallized double stun from Busio. There's the Nature's Grasp as they look for the on the hunt engage. They go on Skewmon, Unstoppable Onslaught finds the backline. It's Anivia, Pop Blossom lands onto Busio. Hansama kills Kana. Meanwhile on the backline, Kalist still standing. A killer instinct from Hansama and an instinct to kill it seems. But now Hansama hammer, locked up by Yike and Yahoo, and Caps and LeBron need to run.
It's another 3 for 3.
Caps needs to make a miracle happen.
Loses his Banshees as he gets met by a sapling. Lebrov on his way out. Yike there on the wrong side of the crystallized glacial storm doing a lot of work. Caps dodging away from the weirding. Yike falls towards the top side, twofold hex. Lebrov looking for it. Goes on to Yike, who uses the twisted advance to dodge the CC. Caps in egg. Now it's all on Lebrov. The dragon down to 2,000. Yike gets the smite. Caps is revived. Will take out Yike. Caps trying to trade onto Yahoo. Dodges the weirding. Dodges the weirding. That's the route. G2. Double stopwatch, a pop blossom, G2 and Caps.
He takes out Busio, but the damage has already been done. With Yahoo still alive, he's able to take out Hans, and we return to live
with up to the side. Busio looking for the trample, but he just can't get in. The crystallized down, the Nexus still full HP. The G2 are poking and prodding and trying to find a weakness in KC. Yike has taken a chunk, another as he falls to half AP. The dive in Yahoo, and Hans Summer is killed. No instinct to kill, no Zhonya's, no time. G2 now, will you continue to advance in a 4v5 or do you just back away? BB gets out. He backs away, that's Elder to G2. 20 seconds on the Baron means it will be 2 for the price of 1.
All right, Elder Dragon secure.
Many super creeps in the bot lane.
Yeah, BB wasn't showing. It looks like KC are going to put some resources into making sure they can defend against him. G2 will get the flashes away. On the hunt was popped there by Kalista. Now KC need to get up towards this top side. Nature's Grasp out from Yike. Kana going in. Caps pops a stopwatch between worlds. Yike immediately evaporated. Pop blossom from above. Lands a two-man. BB's in the base. BCO dives back in. BB's on the Nexus towers. And the walls come tumbling it down. The blue wall fell by the siege of the Samurai. G2 win LEC versus.
What an incredible Game 5. What a way to close out LEC versus. KC fought tooth and nail to the bitter end, but G2 just barely came.